Hello friends. I've had a lot of friends ask me how I make Indian food at home. Today I'm going to be doing Channa Dal, so I thought I'd show you how I do the tadka for making it, and you can put that with any veggie and basically make your own Indian food at home. So the recipe for Channa Dal is the same kind of as rice, so whatever the amount you put in Channa Dal, you double the water. So I just have that simmering over here. And you'll know that it's ready when it starts to get a little bit softer. I just have that on medium heat. So the ingredients I'm going to be using for it are about 1 medium to large tomato. I have 2 chili peppers, 1 red, 1 green. I have some garlic. It's about 5 or 6 cloves. In my opinion, you can never go under with garlic. And I have about 2 arms of ginger, 1 large red onion, some bay leaves, and some cilantro, which I'll put in later. So just in my pan, I've put some oil, and I've put in some cumin, and I'm just starting that. You can start seeing that it's sizzling, and you wait till that cooks just a little bit. And as soon as you start to see it's kind of browning a little bit, you can add the onion. So I will pause it there and let that cook, and I'll show you the onion. Okay. So you can see that the cumin has now turned a little bit on the brown side and it's separating, but there's still plenty of oil. At this point, I'll add in my onion. You should smell this. It smells so good. You're going to cook this until the onions are browned. The key to cooking really good Indian food, I found, is not to rush and let things cook slowly. That's how the flavor comes out of them. If you rush it, you'll still get a pretty good dish, but it won't be as rich in flavor. So I'm going to let those cook, and we'll be back. Okay, now that the onions are browning a little bit, I like to put the ginger and the garlic in now because I like mine roasted. Some people put it in after the tomato, but I find it gives a better flavor if you put it in. Put the garlic in. Careful of the ginger, it tends to spit a little bit once you have that in the pan. I have minced garlic, and I also have it in chunks to give it a really good flavor. You're going to work that into your mix. Let that cook for a few minutes, and then we'll add the next step. Okay, I've let that cook for a couple of minutes, just to get it all mixed up and brown. And you don't want to cook it too long like this because the ginger actually starts to stick too much to the pan. I'm going to add in my chilies and work those in. Those will simmer and cook with the tomatoes, so you don't really have to worry about those cooking too much here. You want to make sure too that you don't run. You need that oil that's on the side. Otherwise, the tomatoes won't cook properly. So just look. We have it on about a medium heat. Just letting that cook. I'm going to add some spices in now. I'll add some more in when the tomatoes are in, but again, I like how it comes together if you add it in now. I'm going to put in some masala. That's 1 spoon. I'm going to do another spoon. We can add some more in later, just like a little bit to start. And I'm going to add in my tomato. All right. Oh, smells so good. Perfect. And we're going to let that cook in on itself. And the trick that my mother-in-law told me about knowing when it's done is when you see the oil bubbling up through, it's almost like a paste. That's when you know it's finished. So I'm going to add in 1 spoon of salt. And I'm going to put in a pinch of pepper. And I'm going to let that cook for a few minutes. Okay, so you can see how it's cooking nicely. You can see the oil coming up through. It's a really nice brown color. I'm going to put the bay leaves in. I keep these frozen in a bag in my freezer, the same with the chilies and the cilantro, so that you can use it whenever you want. Because fresh goes bad pretty quickly. Okay, so now I'm going to put in 1 spoon of turmeric powder. Maybe I'll do another half. And I'm going to add about another half masala. You can start to see, like once you cook it over time, you know what the color is supposed to look like. You can't really go wrong. The only place you're going to mess up is if you have too much or too little salt. But that's something you can taste after when you mix the tadka with your Channa Dal. So I'm going to let that cook a little bit longer, and then we'll check on the dal. Okay, let that cook for a few more minutes. Turning over on low, medium heat. You see the tomatoes are still not quite ready. They're going to turn into almost like a paste. And I've checked my dal. I've salted this water, so I had about 1 spoon of salt in it. And you're going to know when it's ready when this is a little bit less firm. I think it needs still a few more minutes. So I'll give it another minute. If not, then I will show you what the finished product looks like after. Okay, so that is looking about done. And I just checked the Channa Dal, and how you know it's finished is if you can take it and crush it with your fingers, then you know it's ready. It's still firm. You're still going to cook it a little bit. Oh gosh, this is going to be interesting. So now I'm going to put the mix into the pot. So now all that amazingness is in my pot. I'm going to give it a good stir. And there's still some water in there. It still needs to cook for a little bit longer, but now your mix is going to cook in with your dal. So you give that just a little bit of a cover, let some of the steam come out, and let that cook for as long as it needs to until the Channa Dal is cooked through. And you can serve that with rice or naan or roti or whatever you want. After it's done, I will put in the cilantro and mix it in, and that will heat up, and you're good. Ta-da! Pictures to come of the final product.